Hello trainers, Ganeto here, and today we are diving together into Mountain Cup with some battles submitted by Woetmak. This trainer is a familiar face for this channel because I have featured a lot of his battles and he never disappoints. So up on the lead we're gonna have Berserker, and at the back double GLIBROS with Gligar and Gliscor stealing all that spotlight of this team. So we're gonna be able to tank a whole earthquake here from the Diggersby, and if you didn't know, the GLIBROS are gonna be able to wall down the Diggersby if it doesn't have Hyper Beam. So that's a pretty crucial scenario for the Diggersby, but still I believe that most of those Diggersbys are not gonna run Hyper Beam and you're gonna be just fine. Able to reach now to another one, this time the Fire Punch. I don't know why they went for that Earthquake, it made no sense at all, and at this point we can even tank one more, right? Look at how bulky that Gligar is, and we have now the amazing return for big damage on the Ninetales, but they decide to block, which is a bummer. At the back they have an Escavalier, and we have walled down those meta threats with the GLIBROS, and let's go ahead and tank those moves with ease. Most probably the Escavalier will also not have a solution up against the Gliscor, which is pretty neat since it might carry Mega Horn, and the Drill Run and the counters are always gonna be resisted. They return now with the Ninetales. We cannot reach to the Earthquake, but still we are already there to the double close combat to finish off this battle, and Woetmak will grab this pretty cool victory with ease. Gonna be able to block here, but still, yeah, the match is already settled, and that is gonna be a very nice start for this video. So double GLIBROS are looking pretty cool at the back, and let's see now the next one up against the Froslass. Berserker with the Froslass is pretty good, but they end up having an Empoleon at the back, which is definitely a pretty cool core breaker for this line. We cannot switch out yet, and with Froslass around, we might be in a little bit of trouble. However, they take the move on the Empoleon, down they go. They should have expected something weak to that Empoleon at the back since we didn't switch at all, but it doesn't matter at all. Now we can take advantage of that, and Gligar is gonna have the upper hand up against that Diggersby once again. I believe we're gonna see that scenario a lot on this video, mainly because of Gligar not being that common and Diggersby being that common. So at this point we have a lot of energy to spare, and another Night Slash is already due to the HP of Froslass out of the way. So let's get to another one now, another Night Slash. Look at how low they are, and at this point we can simply farm down with our Berserker, reach to a double close combat for the victory since we know they have a shield. Down goes a nice chunk out of the Diggersby, and another one before fainting, which is pretty cool, and now down we go. Gliscor returns to the battle, they see that and they back out, which makes a lot of sense. Diggersby in the next one. Let's see how this one is gonna unfold, because Diggersby is a bad lead for our team, especially with the Berserker up on the lead, and now they have to protect it up against our other two Pokemon. They end up having a Froslass at the back, so we're getting severely hard countered, and this is the battle that we want to see out of this team. We want to see how well it can adapt to very bad situations, because Avalanche is coming up, down we go, and now Berserker can definitely go in and start doing some solid work. The safe switch on the face of Gligar makes a lot of sense, since Gligar, I believe, is kinda bulkier than Gliscor for the meta. Able to get now to our Gliscor for the Diggersby, and they end up throwing a Fire Punch. At first I was like, could that be a Hyper Beam? But it wasn't. So they end up having a Escavalier at the back, so eventually with your GLIBROS you're gonna have a very good battle with Escavalier, with Diggersby, or whatever, even Lucario at the back. So this team is looking particularly strong. Even against a Pokemon like a Red Steel or a Stunfisk, this team can definitely take those two out of the way. They return now with the Diggersby, but at this point we can simply go with the Night Slash spam, and even if they reach to the move we can happily take it since we have Berserker and some energy stored up, so a double close combat is imminent. Look at that, trainers, one for the shield, one for the knockout. Let's take it. Down they go. Oh, they had no shield at all. I don't know why we overfarmed here, but we're gonna take this victory with ease. into the next one now with a Shadow Gliscor up on the lead. You know what, those wing attacks in combination with the Night Slashes might be kinda problematic since they are Shadow and we're kinda classy, but we end up catching the move on the Gligar. Look at how bulky we are, we can even tank the moves, and they have a Shadow Omastar. What? Okay, what move shall they throw here? Let's see, I'm pretty interested to see. It is a Hydro Pump. Are you kidding me? That was a Matshot as a fast attack and Hydro Pump as the closing move. That caught us off guard and that was pretty awesome. Now Berserker can go in, but it's too late for our poor Gligar. If we knew that this was gonna be a Hydro Pump, I believe that Woetmak could shield, but they end up having a Stunfisk at the back, and all of a sudden here is our Wind Cone. We're just gonna take those moves. We can easily survive even another Rock Slide, I believe, so that the Matshots are just doing 1 damage. Earthquake gonna land between the shields. Down goes a very nice amount of HP out of that Stunfisk. They cannot farm down, and we are already there on that Night Slash. Let's get it, trainers. Look at how low they are, and now with the 2 shields we can simply just block and completely farm down the Shadow Gliscor. This was a well played victory for Woetmak, but still the opponent had the spice with a Hydro Pump on that Shadow Omastar. Gliscor on Shadow once again up on the lead, Lucario at the back, and now we have to switch into our Gliscor. I thought we are gonna bring Gligar, but it doesn't matter, still able to reach now to the Earthquake. Are they gonna expect it? No, they are not. Down they go. At this amount of HP, easily someone can expect something like a Night Slash, so that was a pretty smart play by Woetmak to not throw the Night Slash, but instead the big nuke, even at the 50% on the Lucario. Let's get now to another Earthquake. Are you kidding me? So much pressure from the Gliscor, while they will try to farm down, but they cannot because the final Night Slash is coming up. They have to block, right? No block, down they go. What are you doing, trainer? Are we gonna call the bait? Yes, we are. It ends up being just a Night Slash. Let's get that victory out of the way because we still got the Gligar. They might have 2 shields, but we have the better bulk overall. And of course, we can still pressure for another foul play to grab that second shield out of the way, and now our Gligar will just close this battle. Even if they get to triple Night Slash, I believe we can even survive that. Let's see. Yeah, look at how little damage those moves do. And our Gligar with the shield up isn't afraid of anything. We just need to bring them to no HP with a potential return. Look at that, even the triple Night Slash was not enough to finish us off, which is pretty impressive for the baby Gliscor over here. And down they go, Berserker into Diggersby. You do not love to see this, but on the end game perhaps those back-to-back close combats might just seal the trick. So we're just gonna go with the Gligar, able to get out of the way the Ice type that they had at the back. At this point, the Froslass, which is pretty neat, and we decide to shield. Oh, that's a pretty interesting tactic, and as it seems, it is not like the Gliscor, because here we can even reach to a third Night Slash, which is impressive, and pressure even more this Pokemon. Down goes both of them shields. This is pretty neat actually for our Berserker, because if we can farm down here correctly, we can absolutely go ahead and land that close combat on the Diggersby. They end up going with the Escavalier, and at this point we have to bring our Gliscor. They are gonna stay in with a Mega Horn, big damage on our Pokemon, but we can still survive, and this is not even gonna put us on that Fire Punch range. I believe we can even survive that Fire Punch at this point. Are we gonna take it though? Yes, we are. Look at that, pretty easily for our Gliscor to survive the move and still reach to the Night Slash for some cheap damage. However, down we go, and it's all up to our Berserker now. We have to block, I believe here, and try to force that CMP. However, we're gonna throw early the foul play. Do they have enough energy to finish us off? No, they don't, and at the last second, the close combat to finish off the Escavalier. Let's get that big win, and let's move forward into the final one. What big plays is Woetmak doing here? Into the next one, the final one, trainers, with the Diggersby up on the lead. You hate to see it. As a switch, the Froslass, you hate to see it even more, and now we just need to spam our way to victory with those Night Slashes. Wing attack is a pretty nice asset for Gligar and Gliscor, so that's why we're gonna see them a lot on the Mountain Cup. And of course, some trainers do not like those two because they want to run Froslass, Diggersby and stuff like that, but still I believe that they have a lot of play, and hopefully after this video you are gonna play those two as well. So Nightslash here, able to get that shield out of the way. Both trainers have no shields at all, and this is good news for our Berserker. At the back they have an Escavalier and the return of the Diggersby now to face our third Pokemon, which is the Gliscor and the Earthquake once again. What are you doing, trainers? Just go with the Fire Punch. This is no energy efficient at all, but still we have the upper hand even if they reach those Fire Punches. Hyper Beam on the other hand could be much deadlier, but it doesn't matter. Woetmak here knows best, and I believe that we have this victory into our pocket, under our sleeve, and let's get it with the Gliscor, but they end up using the move anyways. It is a drill run, so we can survive, and the Earthquake for big and lethal damage on the Escavalier will seal the deal against this trainer. And that is gonna be a wrap for today's video featuring Woetmak and his double GLIBROS team. Thank you for watching, trainers. Just be sure to leave a huge like before you go, subscribe to the channel if you already haven't, and if you want to support even more, well, joining as a member can always help with that matter. Thank you once again, and I hope to see you all into the next one. Take care, trainers!